a scissors here. And we came out on the positive end of that scissors. Greetings and salutations, fellow pilots. This is Akirishin. In this video, we will be talking about Tier VI Mustangs. And I say Mustangs because we will be reviewing multiple Mustangs, 3 to be precise. And why are we doing that at this time? Well, currently in the premium shop, the Mustang Mk.1, a British fighter, which you are looking at right now, there are premium bundles being offered. And so the question you might ask is, well, do I want the Mk.1? Do I want to shell out the dollars necessary to get this aircraft? And so we're going to try to answer that in relation to the other 2 Tier VI Mustangs that are currently in the game. Which one of them is the best, or are they all the same? So what we are going to do is first I am going to go over my build for each one of these 3 Mustangs. And specifically the Mustangs we are talking about, the American Tech Tree Mustang, the P-51A. Then we have another British premium Mustang, the Mustang 1A. And then we have this premium Mustang. Now my build for each of these aircraft is the same. So I'm going to go over my build for the Mk.1, which will also inform you as to my build for the P-51A and the 1A. Now once I go over my build for these aircraft, we will then head over to World of Warplanes website and use their Compare Aircraft tool to compare the 3 Mustangs in terms of their aircraft features, armaments, engine performance, maneuverability, all of that we will compare from a numbers point of view. And then finally in this video, I will take each of the 3 Mustangs into battle and we'll see how they each perform. So looking at my build for these aircraft, first we will take a look at upgrades. Now the Mustang line is indicated as having high airspeed and a good boost. To accentuate the Mustang's high airspeed, I have equipped as upgrades Engine Tuning 2, which increases engine power by 5%. That helps us perform better in turns and in climbs, basically maintaining our speed longer in those maneuvering actions. I've also equipped Aircraft Polish 2, which increases by 5% the aircraft's top speed. Now, the Mustangs are indicated as having low survivability, and to somewhat ameliorate that weakness in the aircraft, I have selected Improved Covering 2, which decreases the chance of critical damage to wings and tail by 20%. So a significant reduction in critical damage to wings and tail. And also increases the aircraft's hit points by 5%. So we're basically increasing the Mustang's survivability by equipping improved covering 2. Now, I think there is a good argument to be made that in this third slot, you could equip light airframe 2. This aircraft is indicated as having good maneuverability in horizontal turns, but good maneuverability is certainly not high maneuverability. And so there is room for improvement in the Mustang's maneuverability. So you certainly could equip lightweight airframe 2. And that would be a perfectly acceptable and defensible choice. Moving on to our ammunition for all 3 of these Mustangs, I have equipped universal ammunition, and because this aircraft is indicated as having vulnerable engine, I have chosen as a consumable automatic engine restarter, which automatically repairs a damaged engine. I have also equipped automatic fire extinguisher, which automatically puts out fires. I have also chosen control surface auto trim, which automatically restores controllability of wings and tail. All 3 of these consumables are intended to help this aircraft's survivability. One of this aircraft's greatest strengths is its airspeed, and you cannot have high airspeed if your engine is knocked out or if your wings or your tail are damaged, which is also why we have equipped improved covering 2. Again, to keep the aircraft moving. In terms of pilot skills, to further accentuate the aircraft's high airspeed, I have selected Engine Guru 1 and Engine Guru 2, which collectively stack to increase the engine's thrust and top speed by 5%. We kind of have a extra third skill point for our pilot that we are using for these 2 premium aircraft. And so I chose to go with a fire extinguishing skill, that being firefighter, which extinguishes fire by active maneuvering. To do that, you have to gain and maintain a high angular velocity in any axis, and that will extinguish the fire. If I had an extra skill point, I would drop firefighter and instead go with aerodynamics expert. In terms of paint schemes, you're currently looking at winter. This is summer, desert, and marine. The paint schemes on the Mustang 1A, summer, winter, desert, marine. And the paint schemes on the P-51A, this is winter, summer, desert, I like that, and marine. By the way, you'll notice here on the P-51A Mustang, I do have an extra skill point. However, I am not going to utilize that because I want the pilot for each one of these aircraft to have the same skills selected so that you can see on an equal footing how each aircraft performs. Okay, so what we're going to do now is head over to World of Warplanes website and use their Compare Aircraft tool. Okay, so we are here on World of Warplanes website, making use of their Compare Aircraft tool. And currently for the St. Patrick's Day, Wargaming is celebrating by offering bundles for the Mustang 1. And there's a bundle for $17.99, $19.99, and $29.99. So you must ask yourself, well, do I want the Mustang 1? Is it the best Mustang I can get at Tier 6? So since we're trying to answer that question, I have lined up the 3 Tier 6 Mustangs that are currently available in the game. 2 of them are in British service. They are both premium aircraft. And then we have the American tech tree Mustang, the P-51A. So we have the Mk.1, which is the aircraft that is being bundled in the premium shop currently. We have the Mustang 1A, and we have the P-51A. So, of these 3 aircraft, which one is the best, or are they all the same? So if we look first at gun armaments, what we see is that the Mustang 1A is indicated as being superior to the Mk1, whereas the P-51A is indicated as being inferior to the Mk1. So why is that? Let's take a look specifically. Looking first at the Mustang 1A, we see that it has something which is unusual for American fighters in that it has cannons. And it is certainly unusual for the Mustang aircraft in the game, in that most of the Mustangs available all have machine guns. But the 1A has 4 20mm Hispano cannons. Now, the 20mm cannons each do 90 damage per second. They have a low-medium rate of fire of 400 rounds per minute, and they have a very good effective firing range of 680 meters. So how does that compare to the armaments of the Mk1? Well, the Mk1 has all machine guns, 4 12.7mm machine guns, each of which do 45 damage per second. Now they do have a much higher rate of fire of 750 rounds per minute, but they have a shorter effective firing range of 520 meters. The Mk1 also has 4 7.62mm machine guns, each of which do 24 damage per second. Now, if you were to add up all of the Mk1's machine guns, if they were to fire all at the same time and strike the target, all of them, you would do a total, theoretically, of 276 damage per second. That's for the Mk1. If you take the 4 20mm cannons of the Mustang 1A, and if they were to strike all at the same time, they would do 360 damage per second. So clearly, the Mustang 1A's 20mm cannons collectively do more damage than the machine guns of the Mk1 when collectively considered. Now, if we look at the P-51A, the American Mustang, we see that it has 4 12.7 millimeter machine guns, each of which do 52 damage per second, have a rate of fire of 800 rounds per minute, and an effective firing range of 540 meters. Now, if you were to take all 4 of the machine guns on the P-51A, and if they were to strike a target all at the same time, they would do a total of 204 damage per second, which is significantly less total and collective damage than the damage of the machine guns on the Mk1. So looking at those armaments collectively, that is why the cannons on the Mustang 1A outperform the machine guns on the Mk1, and why the Mk1 machine guns outperform the machine guns on the P-51A. Moving on to survivability. All 3 of these Mustang aircraft have the same survivability. The Mk1 and the 1A have the same hit points, whereas the P-51A Mustang has slightly higher hit points than the Mk1. Not significantly so, but there is a small advantage there. In terms of airspeed, top speed at best altitude, the P-51A, so the Tech Tree American Mustang, has a 70 km/h advantage over the British Mustangs. All 3 aircraft have the same maximum dive speed. The Mk1 is faster in the turn than the 1A by 0.3 seconds, whereas the P-51A has a 0.6 second advantage over the Mk1. Rate of roll, the 1A is slightly inferior to the Mk1, whereas the P-51A is slightly superior than the Mk1. Optimum speed, the Mk and the 1A are the same, whereas the P-51A has a 51 km/h advantage over the Mk1. Stall speed, the P-51A will stall later than either of the British Mustangs by 10 km/h, where the P-51A, the Tech Tree Mustang, has a significant advantage is in the area of optimum altitude, having a 300-meter advantage over the Mk1 and the Mustang 1A. In terms of rate of climb, both of the British Mustangs are the same, whereas the P-51A Mustang outperforms both the British Mustangs by 5.5 meters per second. So, summarizing all of that, the Mustang Mk1 and the Mustang 1A are very similar in most respects except for armaments, where the 1A has a significant advantage. The P-51A is inferior in armaments to both the 1A and the Mk1, where the P-51A, the Tech Tree Mustang, has its advantages is in the areas of maneuverability and engine performance. It's a faster aircraft and a better turning aircraft that has much more versatility in terms of altitude by 300 meters, as I mentioned. So it really depends on where your priorities are in terms of which of these three Mustangs you would want to choose. For me, the 300-meter advantage in altitude and some engine performance advantages of the P-51A do not outweigh the armament advantage that the Mustang 1A has. So choosing between all three of these aircraft, I would choose the Mustang 1A because it's a Mustang with cannons. Plain and simple. But that's my personal choice, and when you choose between these aircraft, you may have different priorities than I do. But I hope this review helps you to make up your mind if you're on the fence as to which one of these Mustangs you want to either grind for or purchase. Alright, so having gone over my build for each one of these Mustangs, having compared the three Mustangs to one another, what we're going to do now is head into a battle with each aircraft and let you see how each one of them performs as compared to the others. So we will be fighting in the Mustang 1 over the Alpine Gamut, Moment of Truth, Theater of Operation. We will first head to the garrison here, and then either on to the garrison at mid, or perhaps the mining plant if
you are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
If the enemy is
Show
trying to take it.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
So we're going to gain some altitude here. You see we have a 10-second engine boost. I'm going to try not to go below 5 with it so we can keep it available in case we need it. And you see these machine guns are very powerful. They eat right through these air defense aircraft. There's up here. Secured the garrison. Looks like we have some enemy aircraft over here at the plant. So we'll head over here and see if maybe we can stop them from taking it. Looks like we have a bomber up here. Alright, and we have successfully prevented it from taking the plant. And we have a heavy fighter coming in, heading away from us here. Turning in though, so probably heading towards. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn to the right and let it pass us by. That's the best way to deal with those heavy fighters, just let them pass right by. And he's a lot faster than us, so you know what? We're just going to let him go and move on here. We've got a ground attack aircraft down here, JU-88. So we'll head down here and see if we can't get it before the anti-aircraft gets us. And looks like we've got the fighter, heavy fighter coming in probably here. Let's see if we can avoid it. It's coming around for another pass here. Got some rounds on at that time. And we're just going to keep an eye on that heavy fighter because, yeah, I'm trying to climb there to see what we could do about that bomber up there, and the heavy fighter came back. I was kind of afraid of that, but then again, I didn't want that bomber just having free reign on the plant. So we paid the price for that. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Still have our plant, but it looks like some enemy air, or we still have our garrison, I should say. But it looks like we have some enemy fighters trying to take it. So, and we've got one enemy fighter over here on our friendly. I don't know if we can get over there and help it out. Almost got him. There we go. That helped our friendly out there. Hopefully appreciates that. Got an air defense aircraft here. Got something on our tail here. Heavy fighter. So we just maneuvered around that. See if we can get that heavy fighter to come around. Get another shot at it here. Looks like he's coming our way. A fighter here. You see those machine guns do eat into those aircraft. Got the air defense aircraft here. There we go. And got a couple of fighters coming in here. A little worried about this one behind us.
You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again.
I think I'm going to buy it here, but I would love to get this one over here before we go. There we go. Let's see. Yep. Spitfire. So we're certainly not going to win a close-in engagement with that.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy?
So I think we'll head back over here to the garrison once we respawn and see if we can't prevent them from taking that from us. Take a look here what we're dealing with. multi-role fighter and a heavy fighter. And I believe this ME-410 is the aircraft that shot us down earlier. Let's see if we can't get over here and maybe get some revenge. That would certainly be nice. Save our friendly also. That's excellent. And we've got a multi-role and a fighter over here. And this fellow's slowing down, so we're going to try to do our best to stay behind him. And we've got a bomber up here, although I don't know if we're going to get up there before we stall. So we're going to level out here. Actually, we're going to stall. Let's see. Can we get up to this thing? Yeah. You know, I don't know that we have the energy to get to this. It is coming around towards us, though. So let's see if we can...
They've almost got us.
There we go. Ah. Almost. Alright, so let's see what else we're dealing with here. Get down a little bit. Well, they've got us on points right now, but we have a lot more aircraft left. If we could knock some of their aircraft out, there's a chance we could pull it out. Let's see, what are we dealing with here? Ooh, that one's almost dead. I could just get one shot on him.
Push harder.
Come on, flip around, bam, gotcha. No problem with overheating with these machine guns. And I think what we're going to do here is kind of dive here a little bit, pick up some airspeed, get some distance, come back around, and I'm hoping this BF-109 is going to come our way, and then we will surely get it.
Attention, all aircraft.
Not enough time. Okay, so Flying Warrior badge, effective fire, #1 position on the team, 3 chevrons on our grade rank. Let's head back and take a look at the after action report, see how we did. Alright, so did over 2,200 damage to aerial targets. We shot down 10 aerial targets, so 10 kills there. Got the Avenger accolade, which means we destroyed one of the aircraft that had shot us down. That would have been the ME-410, if I remember correctly, the heavy fighter that we shot down. We did 300 capture points and over 8,300 in combat points. Our opposite #1 on the enemy team had 9 kills. So I think that acquitted the Mustang 1 quite well. You got to see some pretty good performance there from that aircraft. machine guns that you don't have to worry too much about overheating. They do chew into enemy aircraft. So the Mk.1, folks, and what we're going to do now is go over to our Mustang 1A, and we will select our pilot that we had just used for the Mustang 1, which it is free to transfer that pilot since they're both premium aircraft. And we're going to head into a battle now and see how the 1A performs. This is our Mustang with cannons. So let's head in. Alright, so we will be fighting in the Mustang 1A over the peripheral mission Shockwave Theater of Operations. And we will be headed first to the military base.
And we shall win.
And then from there we will move on to the forward airstrip in the center of the map, which no doubt will be ground zero for a lot of fighting. And of course the benefit of getting the military base is that we will be able to have rockets firing from that base to our enemies' captured sectors.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
You know, one of the neat things I think that I've seen about this map is you do see the submarines off in the distance there. I think that is a really cool feature. There's even one right here that's partially submerged. I just think that's really cool. Really neat feature that they added to this map. Look here at the Mustang 1A. Good looking aircraft. Certainly like the,
the enemy is concentrating
bubble
near the airfield.
canopy better, but can't have everything, right? You see, these cannons are just super strong. Gotta say, I really like the Mustang with the cannons. Just see how quickly it eats through that air defense aircraft there. And let's see if we killed everything here. So, still not taking the sector yet, but alright, so we're going to let our engine boost build up here a little bit, and we're headed over to the airfield now, which will be hotly contested. Let's see what we have here. Go for this fighter here first. Japanese fighter. Alright, so far so good. What do we have here? VF-109. Very similar to maneuverability to what we have here. What we're going to do is kind of dive under, let that aircraft pass us. rounds on them and take them out. You saw how well that worked, just kind of doing a little loop, and we'll do it again here, see if we can do it one more time. So you just do that little loop and they tend to fly right past you. What do we have here? We have a very maneuverable Yak, which is not in our favor here, so if we can get a little distance, maybe gain a little altitude on the Yak, that would be good. The Yak line tends to be low altitude, but squishy. So we'll come back over here and see if we can't take that Yak out now that we have a little distance. He's kind of low health, so if we get the rounds off, we should be able to take him out. We've got a couple of fighters here on our tail, no doubt probably more maneuverable than we are. That's a German fighter there.
We have complete control of the skies.
Swing around in time to get him. That's what I really like to do. I'm doing a scissors here. And we came out on the positive end of that scissors. This, however, I don't think is gonna go our way. Alright, so we'll head back in here to the airfield. Like I said, it's going to be the hotly contested zone. Let's see if we can get back in there and wreak havoc again. Got our human player here in a multi-role, so we'll definitely want to focus on him.
Victory is close.
Always target your human players first. They are going to tend to do best for the enemy team. There we go, made quick work of that. Hope that he was already low health. So we've got a Spitfire here, and this could go badly for us. Much closer than I would like to be. Fortunately, we are behind him.
I'm proud of you, pilots. Head back home.
Okay, so got the victory there. #1 spot on the team. Let's head back and take a look at the after action report. See how we did. Alright, so we were in battle a total of 6 minutes and 46 seconds. And in that time, we did over 1,700 in damaged aerial targets. We were only destroyed once. We shot down 9 enemy aircraft, so 9 kills there, 3 of which were done while defending. We did over 8,400 in combat points, so another good result for the Mustang, in this case the Mustang 1A. I have to say, I really like these cannons. You know, the Mustang 1 is a good aircraft, but you can't beat cannons on a Mustang. Alright, so let's go to the P-51A Mustang, the American Tech Tree Mustang, and go into a battle and see how it does. Alright, so we will be fighting in the P-51A over the Road to Rome Breakthrough Theater of Operation. We'll be first headed over to the garrison.
You are approaching the area of combat operations.
Which is to
Be
our
ready.
right, and then we will be headed on to the airfield in the center of the map, which no doubt will be the center of action for combat. So as with all the Mustangs, we have
Show me what you can do, pilots.
a
Let's
10-second
roll.
boost. Now I will only use half of that boost in attempting to get to the first sector, because I do want to save boost so that we can use it if we need it. Now with these machine guns, the closer you can get, the better. As you get further away with machine guns, you do have diminished returns on their effects. Our machine guns cool down a little bit. And we're just going to let our engine boost build up here and start headed to the airfield.
Enemy bombers inbound. Don't let them reach their target.
That, of course, is one of the negatives of this map, is that the enemy team spawns near a command center, whereas we just have garrisons. Alright, so we have a low health P-51 here.
Be advised, the enemy is
I'm going to
concentrating
dive down
forces near
here
the airfield.
and see if we can't take it out. We have an LA-5 over here. On it next. Chasing down one of our friendlies, so we'll try to help it out. As Maui would say, you're welcome. I love that movie. Alright, let's see here. Heavy fighter. Right into our gun sights. Try to stay as close as we can here so that our machine guns have maximum effect. I know that our machine guns are overheated, but heck, we've almost got them. I just don't want to let go. Alright, so we've got enemy aircraft here, or enemy air defense aircraft. Heavy fighter over here, an XP-50. Killed by Jesus. How ironic. Pretty sure that's Jesus, but... Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Multi-roll up here. FW. And we're just gonna turn here. We are more maneuverable than the FW-190. Looks like we may have a fighter on our tail though, which is not good. Over here. And we need to take him out as quickly as possible. Because if it gets in a turning dogfight with that, we're going to lose.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available.
Anytime you have these heavy fighters, you just move right out of the way, they fly right past you. And then get them on the next pass. Multi-roll here. Is that FW-190 again?
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over.
Got a P-51A on our friendly's tail there. Help it out. Fortunately not soon enough. FW-190 again. We got a fighter on our tail, it looks like.
Way to go! Victory is close.
Let's see what we can do about this sector. We can take out some of these air defense aircraft and take it for ourselves. Trying to avoid some of this anti-aircraft fire here. We have a fighter on our tail. And I was just doing that maneuvering so that we would get this aircraft to fly past us, which it thankfully did. Now we can take it out.
Great job today. We'll be
Okay,
waiting for you back
folks,
home.
so let's see, we have flying start, effective fire, subjugator, hunt for hawk, Flying Warrior badge, Conqueror, #1 spot on the team, and almost the top grade for our aircraft. Let's head back to the after action report and see how we did. Get the total picture. Okay, so we were in combat for 10 minutes and 20 seconds. In that time, we were only destroyed once. We had 14 kills, did over 3,300 damage to enemy targets. Of those 14 kills, 4 were while defending. We did almost 14,000 in combat points. Let's see here, the closest fighter on the enemy team was an LA-5, which did 9 kills. So I think you see there the strength of this aircraft. Folks, the P-51A Mustang. I think my favorite paint scheme on that is the desert. I just kind of like that. So folks, there you have it. You have seen all 3 of the Tier 6 aircraft. Compared each one of them, seen each one of them in combat and what they are each capable of. They are all good aircraft. So you really can't go wrong with any of the Mustangs at Tier 6. I am partial to the Mustang 1A because I do like the cannons. And I think you will too. So anyway, I hope that you have really enjoyed this video. I've had a lot of fun bringing it to you. And whatever Mustang you choose, I hope you have great success in it.